So this is the backstrap loom, which most of the different tribes in the area seem to use, and it's I mean, I'm just looking at this. It's incredible, what beautiful work can be produced with really such simple materials. And the backstrap loom, you just tie it up to something on the house, and you keep the tension, partly with the strap around your back, but also you help the tension. She's bracing her feet against the log there. The backstrap loom is still used widely in the Naga areas, although it's being replaced by sort of treadle looms now and some power looms, but it's still commonly in use. The thing about the backstrap loom is that it restricts the width of the fabric that you can make at any one time. And so to make a decent sized cloth for a shawl or for a sarong, you've got to stitch the various strips together afterwards. In those days, they were using cotton, which they grew themselves or perhaps brought in from the plains, and the cloths were absolutely divine. I mean, I think those were the ones, yes, that's what you will have seen at the pit rivers. This, I think, is the groom's procession. You see the cloths they're wearing? The dark colour would probably be a lovely wine red, because of course we were in black and white film here. Look at the house at the back. I think it's a rich man's house. It's quite big. And the front of the house is roofed with shingles, and my mother says that only the richest men in the village had shingle roofing on their house. It's partly shingle and partly thatch. So here they are, rather solemnly advancing towards us. You'll see that some of the men have got the typical Tankal haircut. These are Tankal Nagas. This means shaving up the sides of the head and having a kind of punk sort of crest on the top. Now, these are probably the women from the groom's house bringing all the gifts of shawls and other things for the bride and her family. And this, of course, filmed in probably 1939, would have been an animist wedding. At the time, very few of the Nagas had been converted to Christianity. These days, if you attended a wedding in the same village, the chances are that the couple would be Christian, and the bride would be wearing a nice white dress and a white veil, and she'd have a bouquet, and all the sort of Western traditions. Because these days about, depending who you're talking to, 70 or 90% of the Nagas are Christian these days. And I think at that time, somebody must have said to her, well, why don't you try taking film? And I think there was an interest in photography in the family generally. And I think Ursula adopting film was a little bit in the same vein. She was so desperate to prove herself too, and to make this a career and to really do well at it. So she wanted to do things that other people were not doing, and our film gave her that opportunity.